Hey guys, happy Tuesday. I am back on the live. And this time I want to share an excerpt from my journal, Healing Begins With You, that I started in 2019. And it's coming along pretty good because it's talking about healing and forgiveness and boundaries and all that good stuff. It needs to be, I'm not going to say perfect, it just needs to be on point. And I'm also including interviews that I've done with three awesome ladies. You will learn about these ladies and see how resilient and persistent get you very far. So the table of contents, and this is my first time doing the table of contents, never done it in a book before. Have you read anything of mine? So my table of contents says 5 chapters. Chapter 1, identifying your hurt. What is the root source of your pain? Acknowledge your feelings, and what are you feeling? And the reflection. So the reflection page would be pages where you can write out what did you learn, what did you get from this, and how you plan to apply the information that was provided in the book. Chapter 2 talks about forgive, so you can let go. What is forgiveness? How to forgive? Forgiving unconditionally, and another reflection. So all the chapters have a reflection page where you guys can write and use the opportunity to reflect on what you read or anything that you're feeling at the moment. Chapter 3, breathe in compassion. What is compassion? What is empathy? Why should I show those who hurt me compassion? On the reflection page. Chapter 4 is all about gratitude. Be grateful. What is gratitude? Gratitude and forgiveness, and a thankful challenge. And then a reflection. Chapter 5, the last chapter, talks about learning to love again. How can I love after being hurt? What is self-love? And a reflection. So, I just want to share an excerpt of the book so that you guys know what you're in store for. So the introduction starts, pain is inevitable. At one point or another in life, someone or something will hurt us. Our greatest joy and greatest pain comes from relationship. Think about it. It hurts more when someone you love says something awful than a stranger saying the same thing. In order to understand and process your emotions, we need to be self-aware of what is going on with us and those around us. Some people are so toxic, but we keep them around for different reasons. Toxic people are toxic for a reason. They're not just the way they are, like we tend to say. Something happened to them to make them the person that they are. However, their behavior is not to be justified or excused. Toxic people cause more harm than good. They tend to be abusers who take us on these long mental and emotional roller coaster rides. These rides that leave us wondering when or how do we get off. And eventually the ride does end. But what price did you pay to get off the ride? This journal was written to help people with the healing process. I know it's not easy. I know some parts of the process are draining and ugly, because I've been there and I've done that. But it's a process, and we must trust it. We need to trust it and not skip any steps. And being that healing is a process, know that it takes time. There is no rush to compare or complete your healing journey. In fact, do not compare your journey to anyone else. Healing is a lifelong journey. It never ends. So what is the rush? We have no idea the struggles of other people, nor do we know what they are doing to cope with their issues. What appears to be fine on the outside is not always fine on the inside. So just focus on you and your healing. This journal has tons of questions for you to answer. Here's the thing, you need to be honest when you answer them. Some of the questions require you to take a moment to compose and answer. Trust me, this is all for your self-awareness. It's a time for you to do some deep reflection. I know too many people that lie to themselves and others all day long, saying yes to things they hate, saying they are okay when they are not okay. This is not a healthy way to live, y'all. You are being destructive by lying to yourself and others. The results will eventually become detrimental to your health if you continue down this path. So if you're ready, willing and able to do the work required to heal, turn the page and get to work. If not, then I suggest you put this journal down until you're ready. Everyone isn't ready to be healed, and that is okay. I completely understand that. Healing happens when a person is ready. When you're ready, only you know that. So congratulations on taking a step to healing your mind, your body, and your spirit. Sherry and Simmons, that's me, your purpose and forgiveness coach. So that was just an introduction, y'all. That was just the intro of what's to come. So we talk about identifying your hurt, right? How do you identify your hurt? There's a root source to the pain inside of you. And just like the roots of a tree are below it, the source of your pain is buried deep inside of you. You may have quite a lot of digging to get to it, and it's painful to dig up things that we may have brushed under a rug or just don't want to deal with. However, it is necessary for our healing. You have to deal with issues to completely resolve them. What some of y'all do is sit and wait and pray your problems away. Prayer is great. It really is. But you have to do some type of work in order for something to occur. Other people just sweep stuff under the rug, and then some of us, because I've done it too, turn to reckless behavior. We do things such as abuse substances, we indulge in domestic violence, casual sexual activities, to self-medicate ourselves from the pain of our issues. None of this resolves your issues. The issues are still there. So here's the deal. You must internalize and process your feelings. You have the right to feel however and whatever you feel in any situation. However, it's what you do with the feelings that you can work negatively or positively in your healing. So we're going to exercises, which I am not going to do it. I'm not going to read them. Exercises, because that's what y'all need to buy a book for. Right? Identifying your feelings is one of the steps required in forgiveness, right? Forgiveness is part of the healing process. How can you start your healing journey if you don't know how you feel or what makes you feel a certain way? You can't. This is also part of being self-aware, and most of us think we are self-aware, we are not. Trust me, it's not easy to look at yourself in the mirror and acknowledge your flaws. I do that. It may not be easy for you. I had to learn to be honest with myself. Oftentimes, we're so quick to check other people about how they treat us or how they make us feel, but we don't check ourselves. Checking yourself is hard and uncomfortable, but you must do it. I check myself every day because I know I'm not perfect. My intentions are always genuine because however, the other people internalize my words and actions is a different story. People see and hear things from their own perspective, and we need to be open to hearing and seeing it from their point of view as well. There's a section of this journal about empathy and compassion, and I already know some people are not there yet. I get it, and I understand. As a trauma survivor of sexual assault and domestic violence, I couldn't even think about forgiving the person who hurt me. I couldn't imagine empathizing with him. For what? I understand now that hurt people, and I had to get there. And I also know that we all become at one point a victim and an offender. Someone hurts us, and then we turn around and hurt someone, either the same person or someone else. Some people hurt you with malice intention. Others just don't know better. So do not assume that people should know how to behave around you. Do not assume people even know how to treat people. We have all been raised differently, have different life experiences. Ultimately, we don't know what we don't know. Right? Now back to identifying your feelings. How do y'all do it? How do we do it? Putting our feelings into words helps us to develop coping skills. It helps us to better navigate our emotional experiences. If we just walk around not expressing our feelings, we could cause stress to our mind, body, and spirit. Stress causes disorders, diseases, and other conditions. Don't hold whatever you are feeling inside. Let it out! Use your words instead of throwing something, shouting, hitting, and breaking things. These are the things we tell our children on a daily basis. If you're a parent, I'm quite sure you have these conversations with your children as well. We need to follow our own advice. Kids have tantrums because they cannot effectively communicate their feelings. And some adults can't even do it either. Some may have never been taught to talk about feelings, or others have been unable to believe that their behavior is acceptable. Either way, we all need to learn how to effectively communicate our feelings. No one is a mind reader. So we talk about some feelings. There's a whole list of feelings in my journal. And you're not just happy, you're not just sad, you're not just okay. There's more words to this. Right? So I'm reading an excerpt to my book, my journal, Healing Begins With You. I'm not going over the exercises because these things are in the book. It is imperative that you understand what you're feeling so you're able to process things a little better. Right? It is imperative that you understand your feelings are valid. Right? It is also imperative for you to understand that you're human and our initial reaction is just that, a reaction. If someone was to jump out and fright you, what would you do? Some of us would run, some of us would strike the person, some of us would stay frozen in fear. It is okay how you respond. Have you heard of the term flight or fright? Flight or fight? It's our body's reaction to anything that is threatening us. Things happen so quickly we don't notice, and by the time we process them, we start to feel guilty or ashamed of what we have done. I understand that, and I hope that as you go through this book, you learn to become more self-aware. Self-awareness is the key to so many aspects of your healing. Healing is a process. Trust it, and you will be just fine. Root source of your pain. We all have pain deep, very deep down inside of us. Some of us try to bury it so deep that we forget. And others hold on to it and use it to hurt other people. Whatever your coping mechanism is with pain, if you don't resolve it, it won't go away. The longer you hold the pain and hurt inside, the longer you're holding yourself back from healing. You want to be the best version of yourself, right? You have to let go of what is keeping you stuck. I know it hurts. I know it keeps you up at night. I know it gets you sick to your stomach to think about it. I get it because I've been there too. I've been there. I've done that. I had insomnia. My pain caused me insomnia, weight loss, and hair loss. I was completely caught up in a domestic violence relationship at 21 years old. I've never seen nor heard of domestic violence. I had no idea what was happening when it was happening. I believe one of the worst feelings in the world is when you love someone and they make it their business to physically, mentally, and emotionally harm you. But here's the thing though. I said in the previous chapter, we all are going to be victims and offenders in life. We all are going to hurt somebody, and somebody's going to hurt us. It's all about how you manage your emotions and your self-awareness. Right? So when considering where the source of your pain comes from, it's important to think back to your childhood. Sometimes things that happen in our childhood spark things inside of us that are detrimental to us. And I had the pleasure to interview 3 amazing women for this book. 2 out of the 3 spoke about childhood trauma. They talked about how the childhood trauma followed them well into their adulthood. So my first amazing woman, her name is Giovanni Hawkins. So for those who know her, you're following her, she is a really amazing woman, entrepreneur. She does a radio show, she's a model, she does a lot of things. She's amazing. So I met Giovanni in September of 2019. We were both speakers for a women's empowerment event in Baltimore. She is a native of Baltimore. I was visiting from New York with her aunt, my best friend, is the organizer of the event. When I met her, I discovered that she had published a memoir. I was in the process of writing my own memoir. And I was inspired by the fact that she had the guts to publish a book about traumatic events in her life. And as I sat down with Miss Hawkins, I wanted to know, why did she write that book? Has she forgiven the people who hurt her? And What would she say to someone struggling to find their purpose and self-worth? So before I interviewed her, I read her memoir. So her memoir is called A Chrysalis to a Butterfly. It is available on Amazon. A Chrysalis to a Butterfly, a memoir of metamorphosis. It was a very emotional and riveting read. I couldn't put it down, y'all. Oh my God. And I read it in 2 days because I just didn't want to put it down. And from reading the book, I discovered that the source of her pain came from the murder of her mother at a young age, being molested by her uncle as a child. There are other things that also caused her pain. As devastating as these events were, she has managed to be an amazing woman and a mama too. We're going to talk more about Giovanni in the upcoming chapters of this book. So I'm just reading the excerpt, but y'all going to hear about Giovanni. I'm almost done with the excerpt, y'all. When trying to discover what is the source of your pain, you might start to feel scared, confused, or any of the signs associated with PTSD, depression, and anxiety. So later on in the book, we're going to talk about the signs, so that people know what the signs are, so that when you do reach out to a therapist, counselor, mental health professionals, you can explain to them what you feel so that they can help. Yeah. I am not a mental health professional. This is when I suggest speaking to someone about your feelings. You held them in long enough. Let them out so you can start the healing process. This has nothing to do with the other person. In later chapters, you will see how you must be empathetic and compassionate to people when it comes to healing. Even if they hurt you to the core of your heart. I've been hurt to the core of the heart, y'all. And I know y'all have to. I know it sounds difficult, but this becomes easy when you understand why. I already know some of you must think I'm crazy to even ask you to forgive the person who violated. But here's the thing. Forgiving them is a part of the healing. And as hard as it is, we gotta do it, y'all. I'm not saying you gotta do it today. I'm not saying you gotta do it tomorrow. Whenever you muster up the courage to do it, you gotta do it. I had a whole workshop on forgiveness, and a ton of y'all missed the forgiveness workshop. The replay is available for $20. Y'all can buy it. If you're interested, I will put the link in this video. And that's exactly, people always want to understand. People always want to know the why. When you trust in the process, sometimes you might understand the why. And sometimes you don't need to know at the moment the why. And sometimes the why is just something that happens because you took the step. Sometimes we find out why when you do what you're supposed to do. But there's tons of people that always want to question and ask questions instead of doing what they're supposed to do. Stop questioning the process, trust the process, go through the process, and then you'll understand why. I could tell you why all day, every day, and y'all just gonna look at me like, I ain't doing that. But when you do it, you will experience the burden that you've been holding on to falls off of you. You will discover how much more peaceful your life is. I cannot show you peace. You won't feel it on your own, but you gotta do the work. And I keep telling people that y'all gotta do the work. So many people keep on doing the same things over and over and over. I'm healed. I got boundaries. But when you ask them what boundaries are, they don't know. So how can you have something that you don't know? You can't explain to me what it is. You don't have boundaries. You're not healed. Stop lying to yourselves. And this is not written in the book. I'm actually talking to y'all right now. This is me talking to you. Stop lying to yourselves. Get the help that you need. There's help out here. There's life coaches like myself. But what I notice is that when it's time for people to pay an investment, boundaries is the workshop, and I'm having a boundaries workshop next week. We having a boundaries workshop next week. Y'all need to be at that workshop. And the Healing Through Writing workshop with Regina. She's gonna be there. We're gonna be writing our healing away. Yeah, I'm just so sad about all the women that I've met. I was in a ton of groups on Facebook. I had to leave a few groups because I I get tired of the negative comments that women are saying. And then when you try to help women, they're just getting all nasty and defensive. You don't know me. I don't need to know you to know that you're avoiding your healing. I don't need to know you. That you came up with the defense mechanism to call people out their names, to get upset. And I don't need to know you to know that you don't know how to effectively communicate. I don't need to know you because you put out that energy. So you put it out and this is what people perceive of you. I don't need to know you to see that you're refusing to go through the healing process. How can anybody, I'm not going to sit here and say that I'm totally, completely healed. You heal, you're going to be healed for the rest of your life. That is, so people think, oh, I read a book, I'm healed. No, what is wrong with people? You are told to be healing for the rest of your life. There is no ever no, I'm completely healed, I'm totally healed. What? And me being a coach that I am, and I start asking questions and you don't know the answers, and you get defensive, that means that you're not. You don't know what you're talking about. You don't have no boundaries. Y'all don't have it. So instead of you looking and reading and doing this and driving yourself insane, because it drives me insane to hear people with the foolishness, and I call it foolishness because y'all lie. Listen, let me tell y'all something. For me as a coach, I know when people's lying to me, and it makes absolutely no sense to lie to me because I don't have a heaven or earth or hell to put you in. What you lying to me for? Lying to me does not change anything to me. It's detrimental to you that you decide to lie to yourself about, I'm healed, I'm fine. No, you're not. And we all have been, what's the word? We all have been, I'm not going to say we all, some of us have been numbed in our feelings to just say, I'm fine, I'm okay. I know that was me. I wasn't allowed to talk about my feelings. It was just like, who cares about your feelings? Nobody cared about my feelings when I was growing up. Never able to say how I felt. Nobody asked. So it was just, I'm okay, I'm fine. No, I'm not. So nobody knew when I was a young teen, that I wanted to commit suicide. Nobody knew I was depressed. Nobody knew about all the many multiple suicide ideations I had. Because I got so numb from not sharing my pain. And that's detrimental, you see. Detrimental, you think people don't care about us, and that's not true. So stop saying people don't care about you. It's not true that they don't care. Some people don't, and I'm not going to lie, some people just don't. There are people out there that care about you, and I'm going to tell you right now, most of them are going to be strangers. Most people that will give you the love and support that you learn and earn and desire are strangers. Why? I don't know. I don't know why strangers will love you and care for you and give you their whole world. I don't have an answer for that, y'all. But it's the truth. I found a whole tribe of ladies that are just loving me and giving me the support that I need when I'm down and out. They give me the courage. I haven't met half of these ladies. Never met them. One of them is on the live. Thank you, Regina. I never met Regina. But we talked a lot. We working a lot. We collaborate. I never met her. And she's like, you inspire me, lady. I'm telling you. Because I don't be feeling right all the time. I don't. And she'll come on my post. She'll uplift me. She'll say something nice, inspirational. It'll be just at that moment. I needed to see that. I needed to hear that. So I want to just say thank you to my Facebook family. All of y'all I never met. I love y'all. Because y'all really be keeping me inspired and motivated. And I want to do the same thing with y'all. I really want to motivate and inspire y'all. Because as it is my purpose to do that, y'all be giving me some life, which I post when y'all encourage me. Y'all come on my post. So I just want to say thank y'all. Yeah. Oh, thank you. Oh my God. I am just so humble enough to say thank you. It was a struggle for me to get to where I'm at now. I struggled on my own for years. And what I learned and had to go through, I really don't want people to go through. It's hard, but it's not that hard. And it's so much better when you have a group. So please, ladies, please, healing through writing. Get your journals ready, ladies. So whoever's watching the replay, get your journals. I already got my journal ready. I make money move. This is my journal that I'm going to be using in my healing through writing. So we're going to be doing some healing work at that workshop. But we're not going to be doing any ugly healing work. Because the whole point of the event is to have fun, to relax, relate, and release with your healing. But it's not going to be anything bad. I'm not trying to traumatize people. I'm not going to give anybody anxiety. That's not what it's about. We're going to see, as always in all of my events, how can we take this pain that you have into purpose? We're not trying to traumatize. We're trying to have fun with the ladies. Ladies, I love you guys. And I love you, Regina. So, that was an excerpt from my book that I read. And all that extra commentary was me speaking to y'all. The Hardcore Truth About Healing. Love y'all.